Hello and welcome to the APTA's Grand Prix Series, the Western New England, sponsored by the APTA national sponsors Viking, Fusion, Upswing Health, and My Paddle, and local sponsors Goodroot, McKenna and Cobain Family Orthodontics, Everest Vodka, and Collins Electric. We are live from the Longmeadow Field Club in Massachusetts on the APTA network presented by ProFlight Live. I'm Jerry Viant, along with Mark Fischel, bringing you the women's final between Lauren Gebbia and Kerry Delmonico and the number one seeds, Flor Harnisch and Anna Maria Sabori. And Mark, these two teams have met before in two of our Grand Prix finals.
Yeah, this is the third East Coast Grand Prix and the third time that these two teams have met in the finals. So it's pretty easy to say that they are probably the best two teams in the East Coast.
Well, they're definitely on form. And Delmonico Gebbia, as we commented on Long Island, that is the best I have seen them play in a long time. They've been playing together for many years. And I think the beating that Kerry Delmonico said they took in Darien in the first Grand Prix really inspired them. And they did not want to play like that again. They've gotten themselves in shape. They've mentally focused. And they showed it in Long Island. I mean, they took out some really good teams in that tournament as well. They took out the national champions, Elliott and Redesno, on the way. So they're in fine form coming into this final here.
So for those of you who don't know, at the bottom of the screen in the left side in the black hat is Anna Maria Zabori. She's out of the New Canaan Country Club, and her partner in the blue visor, out of Westchester Country Club, Flor Harnisch. And in the top right-hand side of the screen is Kerry Delmonico, and her partner in the purple is Lauren Gebbia. And why don't we take a look at the draw, Jerry, to see how these teams got here?
So you can see Harnisch Zabori on top. And we streamed that Annika Andrekova match that you called, Mark.
Terrific match.
And a couple of upsets here in the draw. Do you want to talk about what happened in the bottom half?
Yeah, I think it's really encouraging. You're starting to see a lot more depth in the women's game. A huge win for Alexandra Hall over Brazova Elliott. A couple of national champions going out in the first round. And then Manly Ruoff with a big win in the quarters over Cooper Molenveld.
Yeah, so, you know, they're playing 4 matches in one day. They're playing full scoring. They're not doing the abbreviated scoring, which I think the guys are doing tomorrow. They're staying with the second deuce. However, the women are playing it out.
I think it says something about our sport, Jerry, that we're the only sport in the world where the women play longer than the guys. Maybe the women should be asking for more money than the guys get.
We haven't touched on that. There is prize money at this tournament. So I think it's $2,000 for the winning team and $1,000 for the finalists. So this isn't going to be a tightly contested match. Let's look at the keys to victory. Viking keys to victory. So Harnisch, Sabori, they're just so talented, especially Sabori. I mean, she can hit every shot in the book, but she has to start with the simple choices. Just keep it simple, keep it smart, and then build from that. Doesn't have to hit every shot she has in the first few points of the match. And I think Harnisch has got to look for the blitz. She's got to, be really mobile and keep moving because they kind of froze her out in Long Island. And stay focused no matter what the score is. Keep your energy and keep your focus. Doesn't matter if you won the first set easily, just maintain that focus all the way through. Let's take a look at Delmonico Gebbia. They need to control the speed because Zabori loves to play fast, loves to play hard, and Delmonico really can control the speed of the play with her placement of her overheads. And they've got to hit their drives with pace, as you pointed out, Mark, in the semifinal match. When they hit any off-pace drives to anywhere near Zabori on the net, she just finish it with a drop shot and stop Zabori from driving.
Yeah, Lauren Gebbia's drives the ball off of both wings really hard. And I don't think she's going to fall prey to that, what we saw from Andrekova. And Jerry, I got to comment, I love that all the players are taking their jackets outside the court. That's definitely one of my pet peeves when they're leaving jackets on the side, because the players are all so athletic that there's just no part of the court that's not in play. Okay, here we go. Anna Maria Zabori to serve to Lauren Gebbia.
Love 15.
And that is Lisa Doherty, I believe, our scorekeeper.
Top scorekeeper in the New England area.
Really have a great group of volunteers here at the Longmeadow Club, and we'll talk about that as we get into the match. But Lisa will keep us informed.
$15 all.
There's the Zabori drop shot early in the match.
Yeah, Mark, you were keeping count in the semifinals.
I only have 10 fingers, Jerry. I kind of lost it after that.
15-30.
Couple early mistakes from Zabori.
She does have a big serve.
And really look for Kelly Delmonico to control tempo. She's just so smart out there, such a great strategist.
Exactly. She understands her role. And she can hit the ball, but she'll play cat and mouse and look for, you know, hit a lot of probing shots. And she'll look like
15-40.
that overhead there. Zabori's out of the service box going for too much angle.
Yep. We
But
talked about that in the
Delmonico-
last match.
Yeah, Delmonico will really look to move the ball around and set up Gebbia off the deck with those big drives. That's Delmonico on the left with the blue jacket, and she'll just slide those overheads deep.
Oh, that's a
well
great
done.
ball. And that all started with a really good lob from Zabori down the
30-40.
line. Created that movement at the net. Look where Delmonico is, short in the court, looking to use her hands, catch the ball early.
She
This is
loves
that
to
one.
play
Deuce.
there. She'll stand there too if she hits a good lob, or even intentionally hit a short lob to try and bait them into hitting a down up overhead, and then she'll spike from that close.
Oh, that's a great serve. Really jammed
Advantage,
Gebbia's
Zabori.
body. That's hard to do. Gebbia's got such a tremendous return over both wings.
Yeah, Zabori's swinging freely. That's the shot they have to avoid. That
Game,
half
Zabori.
pace.
Punish.
Zabori's got great hands, and she sets her paddle early. So
And that was-
Delmonico had started moving forward on that shot because Zabori set her paddle so early. And instead of hitting the drop shot, she would have had time to just slide it in behind her.
And that was one of your Viking keys to victory, Jerry, in terms of controlling pace. And we should comment on Zabori in the Cam Newton jersey. Zabori being a fellow SEC member from South Carolina.
And you being the fashionista, Mark, you should
Oh, yeah.
be commenting on the dress code.
And there's the cat and mouse that Zabori is just exceptionally good
Love
at.
15.
You just cannot get into those points with her. That's where Lauren Gebbia's got to lob that ball up, retreat, and start over.
Big
15 all.
serve. Kerry Delmonico has one of the better serves in the women's game as well. She hits it deep, she hits it with pace, she can move it around. Very confident on her serve.
15-30.
Let cord winner from Hanish there. Rare volley error from
15-40.
Delmonico. And I know that Hanish and Zabori have been looking forward to this since Long Island, Jerry. They're really out for bear here. They wanted this match, and they're looking to make a statement here.
Oh,
Great
made
control.
that shot. We saw that in
Game
the
Hanish,
semifinals.
Zabori, they lead 2 games to love.
especially in the first set. I think she ripped like 4 or 5 forehands down the line. You always want to test your opponents at net.
Ask
Let
them the
them
right
see.
questions.
Yeah, let them see that you've got that shot so they don't start cheating over and cutting off the ball down the middle.
15 love.
Some early frustration from Lauren Gebbia.
$15.
Wow, it's a
30,
lot of
15.
misses from Gebbia. I mean, that's a set's worth we've seen from her so far. She's usually money with that return. And this is exactly the
40,
start
15.
that you didn't want to see from Delmonico Gebbia.
Yeah, they've got to put that ball in play.
40-30.
And again, the scorekeeper is just that, the scorekeeper. She's not overruling, not making any calls. The players are calling their own shots, and there's that
Game,
floater
Hanish,
return with another drop
Zubori,
shot from
they
Zubori,
lead 3
so they're
games
up
to love.
3 love.
Yeah, this is exactly, you can't afford to have this type of start against Hanish Zubori because they get comfortable out there, they start freewheeling it, and they will just overwhelm you if you allow them to. You've got to stand up to them, you've got to make that first volley, you've got to get into the points. In that last game, I think they missed 3 returns.
It's Lauren Gebbia serving.
Dangerous over there from Delmonico.
That was wide.
And that one
Mark,
was
I
just a
remember
miss.
in the finals of Long Island, it was raining, right? Court
Yeah, it
was
was
wet, and Lauren Gebbia's overhead was very effective because of her grip. She really comes under the ball,
30.
so on a wet court, it's very hard to block. It tends to skip and stay low, so it's a dry court there.
She tends to serve and hit the overheads with that kind of almost Western grip, or Eastern forehand. Not the continental grip you're accustomed to. Oh, she missed that one too.
Yeah,
Love 40.
Delmonico's not. They're rushed. They're rushing themselves.
Yeah, they're missing everything. And that's an example of what you talked about earlier. With
15,
keep
40.
it simple. Things are going in your direction. Don't try an inside-out forehand on the outside of the line. Make them play another ball now. Oh, great ball.
Yep.
Again, just cannot hit that chip. That's where you got to lob the ball and start over.
They lead 4
Well,
games
it's a
to love.
solid start. Hanish and Zubori, 4 love in the first set.
We're playing fast is so much fun, Jerry. Even if you're losing, it's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is. It is, but I don't think Carrie Delmonico is going to
Not
think
having-
it's fun if it goes.
Yeah.
She likes to dictate the play. She likes to pick her spots, and she, likes to really move the chess pieces around. And right now, she's reacting to them.
Well, they've got to get the match into their tempo. And again, she's playing so quickly. Even that ball there.
15 love.
You really want to see them play 2 or 3 long, grinding points.
Oh, this is
It's
a little bit of a reminder of
30 love.
Jerry.
Very end. Zabori's got such an amazing pair of hands, doesn't she, Jerry?
Yeah, she's definitely fun to watch.
A great overhead.
Oh,
And I love how Hanisch kind of fills in behind
30 love.
Zabori. You see Zabori kind of in front and Hanisch kind of floating behind her. Does a great job of volleying and hitting the overheads that go past her.
and a great job of getting out of her way when she was on the left there and Zabori was moving left to hit that big cut overhead. Oh,
Game, Hanish, Zabori.
Is the finals at 6, Jerry? It's the exhibition at 5:30 and then the final at 6?
let's, Delmonico and Gebbia have now got to slow this freight train down and just be happy with lob, lob, lob,
Jerry,
till they get into it.
why do you think we've seen so many women fall into the same trap, hitting that 3/4 pace drive to Zabori? I mean, we saw Martina Andreeva do it maybe double figures in the semis, and in this match you've already seen it 6-7 times in the first 5 games.
They just have to put it away. I mean, they might get away with it against other players, but you're not going to get away with it against Zabori. She's on the net. She's actually setting up that play.
Love 15.
But right now, there's just nothing that Hanisch and Zabori can't do. They're totally dialed in.
Oh, she missed one.
15
Good to know.
But again, that huge returner serve down the line.
And she was in perfect position for that drop, just missed it.
She's thumping it.
Oh, that's a volley you see Kerry Delmonico make 100 times out of 99.
Is that good math?
I learned that from George Wilkinson. There, Floor Hanisch apologizes as she hits the winner. And that takes us to double set point, Jerry.
40.
Oh.
Again, this is,
Game,
well,
it's
maybe
first
that's the,
set.
we'll see the first set
Hanisch,
from Long
Zabori.
Island.
I would say that was a heck of a set that Cam Newton played, Jerry. I had no idea he was such a good paddle player.
Mark, that's what I was saying about keeping it simple. There was a point in time where Zabori would have tried to do too much with all those shots because it was just so exciting, but she carefully placed that ball down at Delmonico's feet and then came right into net and placed the volley.
And what was that set, like 15 minutes? Less?
Yeah, it was. Well, I know we started on air at 5:30, but we took the warm up. So,
right.
Yeah, it was pretty quick set. I would expect Delmonico Gebbia to.
It looks, Jerry, I don't know whether they're
down.
just standing in that position, but I wonder if they're going to switch sides.
Well, they have been switching sides. And they do have the ability. I mean, we've watched that over the years of going back and forth. But I just don't think they haven't gotten themselves going yet. I mean, as well, not taking anything away from Hanisch and Zabori, they're absolutely playing solid, high-level paddle. But Delmonico and Gebbia they haven't settled down yet. They haven't got into their stride.
There is a 2-minute commercial break. That's, if you didn't know, that's what we're waiting on.
You guys, between sets.
Lauren's there with her hands folded. I think they need to get their energy going.
Well, they need something right now.
So I take a little moment here, Mark. I've gotten to know a lot of the crew that works behind the scenes with our Zoom calls, as we're putting this tournament together. This is the first time we've had a Grand Prix at Longmeadow. And just a huge thank you to Jeff Morneau and John Hughes, Mike Shields, Per Nilsson, along with Steve McKenna, Rob Durfee, Brian Graboff, Jen Wilson, Dave Applebaum. It's just, it takes that crew.
You forgot somebody.
Who's that?
Jerry Vian.
No, no, I'm talking about the.
I'm
these guys
talking
getting
about
over.
Jerry Viant, who's worked so hard at this, and for everybody who's watching, this is hard. Not being there, not having a sense for it. I just can't understate how difficult it is. And it's been remarkable what Jerry and the rest of the APTA team has been able to pull off, showing these matches, hosting these tournaments in this COVID era. You know, again, kudos to Amin Kadari and Tiernan Kavana, Ange Sheedy, Jackie Cameron, Nindy Pike, Isabel Caban. I mean, this is difficult, and the APTA is really mindful of our players' health and safety, and have done a great job.
And it just reinforces why I love this game and why I love the paddle community, because even like behind the scenes, I'm getting to meet a lot more people doing it remotely, because it really takes a lot of help. And thank you for everybody who has jumped in.
Okay, so as we surmised, Delmonico Gebbia switching sides, and it's a little bit of the way the first set ended, the second set starts.
Oh, except Floor Hanish is going to work on her drop shot now.
I don't know what Hanish Zabori you're talking about, other than let's keep doing the same thing.
And that's important, that they just maintain this focus and not let their guard down, because
and we have to have at least one between the leg shot from Zabori.
Exactly. That they can't let their guard down, because Delmonico Gebbia are too good. They get their teeth into this second set. So you've got Gebbia on the left. Normally they switch and put Delmonico on the left, hitting the overheads. And it's a very different overhead, like you said, Mark, because of her grip.
Zabori misses that one.
15-0.
Great volley and a drop shot. Oh, great ball from Delmonico.
Yep.
15-30.
I think this first couple of games are just absolutely critical for Delmonico Gebbia.
100%. They can't let Hanish Zabori get ahead.
30-0.
That's just a shot you don't see her miss like that. Lobbing wide.
Great get from Gebbia off this Nick.
Oh!
Oh my goodness, how did she make that volley?
That was a
30,
blind
40.
volley. Zabori made a complete guest appearance and then changed her mind, but Hanish was ready. I don't know how she saw it.
Or if she saw it. Great drive from Zabori. So they're playing deuce now. I wonder if that ball went off of Zabori's paddle? Because it would have been 40-30 if she'd made it cleanly, wouldn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see that. Oh,
That's smart.
well done.
Advantage.
Went
Delmonico.
behind her there.
Gebbia.
You know,
And that's
and
what we talked about in the, we wanted to see more of in the semis from Andrekova, going behind Zabori, hit it where she is, not where she's going to.
and Delmonico can hurt you with that ball when it's above her shoulder like that. She likes to hit down.
Now that was an example of Gebbia hits the ball return, but it hits so hard that she starts coming in behind it, but she had no business coming to net on that ball, and kind of got her team out of position by coming forward.
Right, this is the opening game. This is the first real competitive game that we've seen.
Out.
This is where the focus is so important. That's
here's
a
where you gotta-
fabulous, fabulous overhead, Mark. Deep in the court.
And there we go, they're on the board.
Game Delmonico Gebbia.
Delmonico called that ball wide. Maybe Delmonico called that ball wide, Jerry.
I guess.
One
I
love?
guess. 'Cause she it looked like she even volleyed it, just above the handle.
Yeah. Okay, Kerry Delmonico to serve to Flor Hanisch. Well, that is not an overhead you want to live on right there. They just can't afford to give away points at this part of the match. They're just fighting to get back in it. Got to play every point right now. I love the early move from Zabori, the way she slides to her left, looking for that ball.
That's the reaction of her lob down the line. She's looking to set herself up for the next shot. She's just not waiting to see what they're going to hit. Whoa.
30-15.
You could feel a little bit that Hanisch Sabori are trying to pressing just a little bit, just like that volley there that she missed long doesn't have to be that good.
And that's when you sort of bunt into the middle of the court.
You're right. Find your spot and just stay with it.
Smart play from Delmonico there. Great play.
That's covering the
40-15.
middle. The middle was wide open. Hanisch needed to slide over and straddle that middle line. She gave Gebbia the opening. Low part of the net, high percentage part of the court.
I wonder if Delmonico's struggling to see the ball because she's missed some surprising volleys, Sherry. Big point right here. Oh, great pickup from Hanisch.
The court, Mark, the court looks pretty bright. Look at the shadows on the court. I mean, she might be looking into a light. Sometimes it catches in the corner of the eye, but overall, the courts, they've got the lights from the other two courts outside, and I'm seeing the shadows on the court. So
great hold there from Delmonico, takes them to 2-love. So I told you, Jerry, the final started at 6. It was just a brief exhibition at 5:30.
I said, now we're looking at the Long Island final. We were looking at the Darien final in the first set.
And again, you see Sabori reaching on a ball, and then Hanisch can't make the volley. Yeah, as Kerry Delmonico says, why? An anguished cry of why. Got to put that ball in play.
You see how comfortable Lauren Gebbia is playing the ad side, returning from that side. So it's not just switching to build a point in the backcourt, it's also where you return to serve
35.
is more effective.
And Delmonico called that, Nick, and Gebbia did not read it.
45.
Little self-coaching there. Gebbia saying no reason to miss that.
I love the dynamic between Delmonico and Gebbia. They're obviously very close, good friends. They just got great energy on the court together. It's always fun to watch.
Yeah, they know each other very well. So whenever your partner says, I don't know, you hit it.
Yeah, because that means I think it's going to be good.
Whoa.
Game punished Zabori.
Well placed overhead by Zaboring, and she was
Gebbia
back
lead
in the
2
court,
games
and
to
she
1.
hit her overhead back deep into the court. Sometimes she has a tendency to go try to hit too much of an angle. And when you're that far wide or deep, you know, you can't hit that angle, so it goes into the side screen.
Yeah, that's a great lesson. When you're behind the service line, the side wires are out of play. Just get the ball deep in the court. Okay, Lauren Gebbia to serve. 2-1 second set. Oh, great lob. Smart bail from Delmonico there.
And you heard Delmonico say, be ready.
And I love Delmonico's court positioning. She's in tight. She's taking the ball early, putting pressure on opponents.
Oh. Liz Harnish should be back at net. She should not be on the baseline through all this. It's one thing to give up the net when you think they're going to be hit through, but the second you see that your partner has control of the net play, you've got to come back up to net.
And there was Zabori a little too aggressive with her shot making again.
Oh. Wow.
15 all.
She's really stepped up her, Zabori's really stepped up her return to serve in this tournament. Taking the ball higher and earlier.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to play regular against her. I think you've got to play I formation or one party back. And here they go into the I. Wow.
Smart volley there.
I was going to say they were forcing Zabori to hit the ball down the line, but she just hit the ball through Delmonico regardless of where she was standing.
Gebbia is serving well. She can throw in a few, you know, faults from time to time, but she's really serving well.
Great get of the seam. Oh, good idea from Delmonico. That's her bread and butter, catching the ball early.
Advantage Harnish.
I think she has the most success when she sets that play up, when she dictates that, and she was reacting to them on that shot.
Because I think we missed a point there, Jerry, and this is advantage Harnish. That's a good overhead.
It's so good because it's deep and low in the court. I wouldn't be so quick to send that over there, but she hit that slider again. It's all about Zabori's preparation with her overhead now. She's cocking her wrist, she's keeping her elbow up, and she's letting that ball come down to the paddle, and that's what's allowing her to change it.
And Delmonico was worried about the drop shot there, so she moved into the court and exposed her wires.
Right. So it's
all about preparation.
Right. So it gives you the ability to disguise and hold the ball and wait. So you set your paddle and then move your feet for the overhead.
And And again, as I commented in the semis, Zabori's position when the ball's in the deuce court, she's way over straddling the center stripe. Great play there as Zabori beat her in transition. And it's such an impulse, isn't it, Jerry, when you hit a ball through to come charging forward for the net? But that's not necessarily the right play.
No, especially, you know, if you're hitting it through with pace and it's coming. Oh.
15 all.
I'm not sure about that behind the back, but we're hitting the ball hard with pace and it's going through onto the back screen. You can get caught with transition if you're coming into net behind it.
Actually, Jerry, you said something that wasn't accurate. You said you weren't sure about that shot. I think you were sure about that shot. You're just being very nice.
30-15.
Delmonico Gebbia have to punish her for that shot. They really need to win this game. There, Gebbia makes a better decision. It's amazing how just being in the right place, even though she didn't hit the ball, changed the whole dynamic at that point. Really think Delmonico Gebbia need this game.
And look, they're completely handcuffing.
Oh,
Was that good? Wow.
yeah.
But they're handcuffing Harnish and Sabori again now, which is what happened in Long Island. They got them to be flat-footed, which is hard to do. So Harnish and Sabori have got to be careful that they keep the attack mindset when they're in the backcourt.
Nice big
rip.
rip. Off a pretty good serve, too.
But you know what I'm saying, Mark? You know, like, set yourself up. Keep moving. Keep looking. Keep pushing.
I think this is just a critical game for Delmonico Gebbia.
Just wide.
Because they've had game points. You know, game point last game didn't convert. Deuce this game, lose 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
You want to keep that freight train moving slowly, because once it gathers speed, awfully hard to slow it down.
Delmonico Gebbia, you know, have tightened up. They're making less unforced errors like they did in the first set. They're not giving away so many free points.
Add out.
This will be a huge game for Delmonico Gebbia to pull out.
Game.
Sabori's by the service line, going for that shorter angle.
Yep, that's the ball she's got to hit deep in the court. I know she got the break off the lead court. Boy, that was some backhand down the line.
Yeah. All right, Delmonico's serving 3-2 in the second set, having won the first set. Harnish Sabori won the first set 6-love, so they've clawed their way back.
Free serving 2.
Which is no surprise, Mark.
Great competitors, Delmonico Gebbia.
15 love.
Boy, Zabori just
serve.
opened the whole court up with those lobs. She kept yanking Delmonico further and further to her right, and she was able to make the volley, but then Harnish jumped all over the reply.
That's the first time we've really seen Harnish come in for a blitz. That is one of her pattern plays. Got to move forward. 45-degree angle.
wide?
Can't go parallel for the
30-15.
baseline. Ball.
And that's a ball she usually feasts on.
Yeah, the ball got away from her.
40-15.
Couple points for 4-2. All the shots Delmonico that Hana Sabori were making in the first set, they're not making now.
Oh. Go, Lauren. Come on.
Fabulous overhead
Game,
by
Delmonico.
Lauren Gebbia.
Great control of the
Slides.
point there.
They lead
Yep, slides
4
down the
games
back
to
of the
2.
ball. Hits it deep in the court, low in the screen, so Hanish Sabori couldn't use it to attack. And this is what Delmonico Gebbia do so well. Is they when they control the speed of play, they really take the offensive plays out. And they force their opponents to hit shots that it's not their favorite shots. And then it starts to kind of,
Love
you know,
15.
wear away at your confidence. Should I hit it? Should I not hit it? You can feel the energy level change.
And Lauren Gebbia has really tightened up her game and is driving the ball beautifully right now.
Oh!
Sabori hit a drop shot with Delmonico on the service line.
And Delmonico wanted to punish her with that.
Literally punish her. And that's a great play.
Yes.
No reason not to try and do that.
Yeah, she says, I'll show you, drop shotting me.
Boy, Hana seems to have lost a little confidence in that forehand, Jerry. She really decelerated into that ball. It was
Yeah,
a
against-
completely non-committal swing.
They're reacting to Delmonico and Gebbia. They're not reacting to their own setups. Just kind of the Delmonico Gebbia's try just takes the air out of you if you play into that speed.
Oh, Delmonico kind of giving up on that point, and then Sabori hit it back to her. Big moment in the match right here, Jerry.
Yes.
Delmonico Gebbia want to keep this thing rolling.
That's a better overhead from deeper in the service box by Sabori.
So maybe, I don't know, in Brazilian means it's out.
I think so. I think so.
Juan Araya taught me that, actually. Great get from Gebbia there.
Yeah, coached by Delmonico, telling her that it was one.
Change your mind. Game Hanish Zabori.
Boy, that was a huge swinging game. Mark Guinness always talks about the 7th game, and that was a critical 7th game.
I know you were giving him a hard time about his 7th game the other day.
I'm not sure why. I mean, it was 5-3, and he was talking about the critical 7th game.
He
Okay,
didn't want-
Gebbia
he
to
thought
serve.
you might have missed it, the 7th game.
That
That's
must
why
have
he was
been it.
bringing up.
3-4.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do that every time. 4-3.
So 4-3, Delmonico Gebbia.
Gebbia is serving. Got to get these serves in deep. receiver has the advantage. Oh. Monaco just has such great control with placement of her backhand volleys.
Monaco Gebbia do make more noise than the other team on tour.
Monaco makes grunts when she doesn't even hit the ball hard. It's all
A 5.
part of her personality.
First fault in a while from Gebbia. That last point, you saw a lot of short lobs from Hannah Zabori, but they managed to squeeze out of it. Oh, great spot.
Whoa. I got to draw a line there. She was in the middle of the court and pulled that shot down the line. That is a fabulous shot. Oh, gotta stay still.
Yep, Zabori jumped in front of Hanish. That's a volley that Hanish will make if she gives her the chance.
She was right there.
15-40. Can they squeeze out of this game? That's a great lob.
Oh, I like that Zabori's moving to her left when Hanish is lobbing down the line. Look at her. She's setting up her strength. They're changing the look of the court. That's a good offensive play. That's an offensive mindset as opposed to hitting and looking.
Oh, she set that up so beautifully with that down the line lob again and had the forehand and missed it. Huge point. Oh.
So
You know, I don't mind the swing from Gebbia there. That's her game. Just happened to miss it. I thought it was a good ball to hit.
Well, you see, Zabori was paying attention to what was happening while it was happening. Gebbia stayed back on the serve, and instead of we've been seeing Zabori thump her returner serve, she saw that Gebbia was staying back, and so she took the pace off it and just put her ball deep but slower, so she had time to get into net. So smart adjustment.
Oh, that was kind of pushy, don't you think, Jerry?
Oh, I think that was a left-handed push. Better than a hip check, Mark.
Yeah. For those of you who didn't see it, Zabori gave Hanish some incentive to move quickly to her right and some additional momentum with a big push. And you can see the game plan from Hanish Zabori is to make Delmonico move. So she's signaling for her to serve wide to Gebbia, and Hanish is going to stay.
Oh, what a serve on demand.
Pretty impressive. Much better overheads there from Zabori.
She's really loading up her legs and turning her shoulder, and that's where you get the bite on the ball.
Oh, what a shot from Delmonico.
Fabulous rip by Delmonico.
And that's all about court positioning. The way she crept into the court, was inside, caught the ball early with Zabori off the net. You can't hit that shot from 3 feet behind the baseline.
She had the ball before Zabori had a chance to shift and cover that third.
15-30.
Another big moment in the match right here.
Absolutely.
Another great serve from Zabori. Well, she started. You were talking earlier, Jerry. You'll have to show it a little more the way she prepares and kind of loads and then decelerates into the ball, hits that drop shot.
And it's coming from the same preparation that she could hit that ball as a slash, as a cut. Oh! Delmonico's reading these.
Great volley there from Zabori. She was in trouble. Delmonico played that beautifully. Point for 5-4, 40-30. Boy, Zabori served some game.
You see Delmonico just lobbing down the line, trying to get Gebbia a ball to attack.
Great get there from Delmonico.
Good covering and smart lob by Gebbia.
Smart play by Gebbia staying back there. But then she misses it. Big positive energy from Zabori. A big let's go.
Honest Zabori, 5 games to 4.
That was a claw game for both teams. You could feel it. You could feel it. They were both attacking and counterattacking and trying to set up the by Delmonico from the middle of the court.
Okay, Delmonico to serve to stay in the match. Now, we haven't seen any of those swinging volleys from Lauren Gebbia at all today. I think that's been one of the huge improvements in her game over the last couple of years. Great overhead, and they're 2 points from the match.
Really handcuffed Delmonico there by going at her deep in the court.
But Delmonico is such a money server.
She is.
2 points from the match.
I
Do I
love
want a
her
big serve there, right in the line?
Yeah, no, like I said before, she's got one of the best serves in the women's game.
15-30. And that was some first volley she hit there off a booming return from Zabori.
And she does the same. I mean, she's got the early preparation on her overhead as well. I mean, that's why she's so accurate. She throws different looks at you.
Oh.
Too much. Different spins,
540.
different pace.
Double match point, Jerry, 15-40. Jerry, we're going to have an interview with our winners after the match.
I believe so. I believe they're going to come straight in. We can.
And I seem to have cursed Carrie Delmonico by talking about her big money serving as she faults their match point. It's game, set, match.
6-love, 6-4.
Zabori, 6-love, 6-4.
Well, I thought we were going to see a third set. I really did. I thought Delmonico and Gebbia made some great adjustments. I mean, the first set, they just weren't there. You know, they looked uncomfortable. They made a lot of unforced errors. But then they calmed down.
Yeah, their margin of error is just so much smaller than Hanish Zabori's. They've got to do everything right. And if both teams play great, then Hanish Zabori you're going to win. I mean, Delmonico Gebbia are trying to bring them down, and that's a big part of the game. And they had their chances in the second set. They're just a couple of games they let get away from them.
Yeah. Well, you see, you know how it's that speed of play that Delmonico plays at, and she can be so accurate, and she can control the court by the placement of her shots, and she doesn't panic. You never see Delmonico panic or get too excited. She really just knows her role, and she tries to jerk the ball around and get Gebbia some short, quick, down-up shots that she can attack. Gebbia's got the firepower. Delmonico can hit, but it's her court awareness and her savviness and her ability to read what's happening while it's happening. But Harnish and Zabori really, they went away a little bit in the second set and then got their focus back on where they wanted to hit their shots. And Zabori again just showing how talented she is with her between the legs and behind the back. She's got so many choices, and I think Harnish did a good job. You know, you saw her dip a little bit on her forehand, but then she got it back, and she knows what her role is on this. They're a new team, they're a new combination this year, so they should be pleased with that win, that result.
Jerry, I want to take a moment to thank Viking. Viking has an unrivaled paddle lineup depth, 3 paddle families. Each family featuring 3 models, the Pro, the Light, and the Prodigy, 9 adult paddles with different weights, core densities, and overall hitting surfaces to address all levels of play. Vibrant gradients and a bold modern color palette lead the way for the upcoming season. All paddles are hand-painted, giving each its own unique look. No gimmicks, just the best ball striking paddles in the game. The official paddles of the APTA. So Jerry, what do you see from these 2 teams going forward? I mean, what do you think you need to see more of from Delmonico Gebbia?
Well, no, Delmonico Gebbia, I mean, they're still playing the best I have seen them play in a few years this season. They seem to be really focused on improving and working on their game. I just think they got off to a slow start, and that hurt them.
Yeah, I think Lauren Gebbia is playing the best paddle I've seen from her maybe ever. She is swinging at fewer volleys. She's more committed to lobbing. I mean, I used to watch Gebbia play, and if she lobbed 3 times in a match, it was a lot.
Well, we used to say no lob Gebbia, right?
Yeah. But
No.
now she's combining that brilliant ball striking of hers with some really good lobbing, and that's just jumped them up 2 levels.
Yeah, so I think, you know, the next time these guys are going to play will be Philly. Is that the next? Oh, no, wait.
It's possible they'll be playing at Crest Hollow.
Yes, we have a new NRT.
The February thaw out.
Yes.
Or FTO as we refer to it.
Yeah, so that we could see them there, and then the next Grand Prix on the East Coast will be in Philly.
February 20th. Okay, so I think our players are getting mic'd up.
Yep, they're getting ready to go. Be interesting to see what they think they did well.
It's always so much fun to watch Zabori play. I mean, she's just so dynamic and such incredible shot making, and you just never quite know what's going to come next. I think that's John Lubow out there looking for some practice.
Yeah, the guys will be starting tomorrow at 9:30.
And God knows Lubow needs some practice.
We'll be streaming the round of 16 quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So come back here tomorrow and we watch the guys in action. I think, Mark, we have such a strong draw here. So, I mean, 16-team draw, but with the men and women combined, we have 13 national champions competing in this tournament. I mean, it is so high caliber.
Okay, I think our winners are ready. And here they are. Flor Hanish, Cam Newton. Congratulations on your win, guys. that is Cam Newton there, isn't it?
That's one of the rare Patriots wins today, or this season.
Yes, it hasn't been a great season for the Patriots, but I'm sure they appreciate you representing them. So, guys, you come out, you roll the first set. They kind of start turning it around. What was the conversation you had in the backcourt that seemed to kind of stabilize things for you?
We said, first we were like, okay, we got to slow down. We got to slow down. The first few games on the second set went a little too fast. But then our footwork slowed down. I was like, wait, not the feet slow down, just the hands. And then same thing. Sometimes we just get caught up. I think there is good things about our game that we like fast, but we still has to be a fast one that you're in control and you're in position when you're going fast. And we just kept reminding ourselves.
It's also hard, you know. I think the first set was nearly perfect. You know, when you win 6-love, it's usually, what do we say, the most dangerous score because you just put so much pressure to keep rolling the same way. And, you know, they did play better. They started making more shots and they started, you know, making us work more to win the shot. So it was a more interesting battle. I think even mentally at one point, I wasn't sure, if it always in paddle, the momentum shifts really quickly. 2 points, 3 points here and there. It's really important to stay focused, and I think those tournaments is hard. You have to be focused 4 matches in a row, and sometimes it goes away, and then you have to hustle back, and then you rush yourself, and then you have to remember your strategy and your goal that you started with. So that's what we did.
And Anna Maria, what is it that you think you did well today?
I think my overhead.
Well, I was going to say, I was just going to lead you into that. Mark was counting how many drop shots that you hit in the semi-finals, and then he started counting in the finals as well. So, yes, that was clearly you were having fun with that shot.
I think the drop shots is really anticipating. If you can anticipate and read what your opponents are doing, then you're putting yourself in such a good position that you're able to hit those shots. I think anticipation is so important in this game. If you're just reading the game, then you have more time and you see the court clearly. And I think we were very good picking our spots with overheads. That's a huge change. I think we still have to work on that, but I think we're on the same page. Florentina knows exactly what I'm doing now. And when I miss, we both know why. So before, I think in the end, we just played because we were hot that day. Today, I think this win is better because I think we are actually playing better.
Yeah, your positioning was key, I think, and a couple of times there was some guest appearances there, and Flor was standing right behind. I know, it's part of the fun of the game, but Flor was standing right behind you, ready to go. So even when you were going to hit it, and then you decided not to hit it mid-flight, she was there. So
I mean,
that was.
Florentina is definitely the calmer player. I'm a little bit all over the place, and she's so nice about how she approaches when I do something not as smart. She's like, "Did you really want to be there when she drove that shot?" Which means you were in the wrong position. So I think kudos to her because she's keeping up with me.
Well, we need that. We need that north on the compass so that you can flow. But you seem to have that give and take, between you. You're understanding the roles as a team, and setting each other up. So I know this is the first season that you're playing together, and you're starting to see what you do well together. So it was a good regroup from Long Island.
Yes.
It's again, I think the conditions were not really in our favor in Long Island, even though I think I've never seen Carrie and Gabby and Lauren play that well. So I think they played perfectly there. They made us look a little bit like amateurs in a few games. I was definitely much slower than them, and they definitely earned that one today. Today we were readier to start right away.
Hey, Flor, I noticed the floor tennis visor, which I like very much. Where can we find floor tennis if we're looking for it?
On Instagram, that's my business account where I put paddle tips and tennis tips. So.
Okay, so floor tennis on Instagram.
Yep.
This is a new side of Mark Fischel that we're seeing here. He's commenting on fashion. Have you guys noticed this?
That's true.
Yes.
I like Mark 2021.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations. Well done. Where's the next? When will we see you next? What's the next tournament for you?
This weekend, actually, the Pro Fly Tour.
Next weekend.
Yes, next weekend. So not tomorrow, the next Saturday. Or is it Friday? The 30th.
No, Saturday. It's a pro flight in New Jersey.
Yeah,
your home state.
And it's just, yes.
And guess who we're playing?
Tell Monica.
No, really?
Yeah.
Yes. You will have to start digging something about our lives in order to come up with something new, because probably this is like 5 times that you're going to have to have the same player. So good luck.
Well, it was a lot of fun watching you guys. Congratulations. Drive safely home.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay. All right. Well, Mark, that was definitely fun.
Yeah, and tomorrow should be just an awesome day, Jerry. We have a tremendous round of 16 match at 9:30. I know Mark Innes is looking forward to seeing the African continent represented again against Europe.
Yes.
So
you'll be able to pronounce everybody's names right.
Chizwikwe Mushanga.
You've been practicing.
Against Le Paver Protsenko.
All right, Mike. Well, that is a wrap, and we'll see everybody tomorrow on the APTA Network, presented by ProFlight Live.
Good night, everybody.
Paddle, it's like a chess game. It's a combination of a lot of shots. You're not gonna kill the king with one move.
I truly believe that every person can be taught a little differently. There's no textbook way to play this game.
The earlier you're able to do something, the less perfect you have to be.
But you need to be patient and let them come to you. If you start trying to force the point, then I think you lose more than you'll win.
I'm Macy Elliott. This is my paddle.